Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video I want to talk about an old champion Tomblord who was buffed into relevance not too long ago, but he was basically not very good and then buffed into very good to the point where people were using him to solo some dungeons. So in this video I'm going to go over where best to use him and how to build him to maximize progress for your account. So let's jump right into it. All right, so first things first, if you guys weren't aware, in the token trader, you guys can actually pick up Tomblord right here. It'll cost you, what is it, 6 champions, 6 duplicate champions to get him. But yeah, he's there, sitting there waiting for everybody to pass him over because no one ever uses the token trader. But here he is, Tomblord. He's got the A1 double hit, decreased speed, very solid attack. He's got the A2. When it crits, it places 4 poisons on everyone. This is like the money move here. 3-turn cooldown. Very strong ability. Here we got the decrease attack, decrease defense, and then a turn meter drop as well. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, so you can't reliably use it for decreased defense or anything like that, but it's a very nice part of his kit. Just a total package here. His aura doesn't really make too much sense, but the rest of his kit's very strong. His A1 can be used in Fire Knight. This poison ability is very strong against Dragon and normal Ice Golem, and that's basically the strongest places where you can kind of use them. His A3, you can kind of use them for like some wave debuffing, wave control-ish abilities. Again, you can use them to support like Fire Knight teams, for example, or obviously wave clearing teams if you use them in a group setting. But yeah, I think in this video I'm going to showcase him in my solo builds, and hopefully he can help you guys progress through some of these dungeons, especially early on. So first I'm going to showcase him in the Ice Golem's Peak. Here he's going to be a normal Ice Golem specialist, so you can't really use him in hard, because in hard the Ice Golem no longer is affected by poison, which is really sucky for Tomblord. But he excels at farming normal Ice Golem with food. So for example, you can use them in stage 23 or stage 24. I probably recommend doing stage 23 if you are a bit lower in stats. You probably need some crazier stats to do stage 24, especially since it's not positive affinity or anything for Tomblord. So let's show you guys my Tomblord first. So here's my Tomblord. I have him in a regeneration and perception set. You could put him in regeneration immortal set as well. I got him 240 speed, 66k HP, 3.2k attack, just under 3k defense, just under the crit rate, crit damage. You want him with the resistance since you're using him in a solo build, and then you want enough accuracy to tackle whatever content you have him in. So if you have him dealing only with normal dungeons, you don't need this much stats. You can do it with much less. You can do it with about 320 resistance and about 220 accuracy. So cut these in by 100 and you're probably good to go for normal dungeons. However, I have them set up to be able to run some hard dragon levels, so I want to show you guys that as well. In terms of his HP, you definitely want him as high as you can. I would say I wouldn't go less than 55k HP. Defense is actually important too. It's very easy to run him low on defense because his defense is not particularly high, but make sure you have him at least 2500 defense. Speed, I'd keep him around 210, 220. You don't want him going too fast, taking too many turns, but at the same time you don't want him to be too slow that he can't take advantage of his regeneration set. So I'm going to go over his skills here. You definitely want him fully booked. He gets lots of bonus benefits from books in his kit. You definitely want him with Brimstone against the bosses so you can deal extra damage. This is mostly for Dragon. Against Ice Golem, this is not that effective, but against Dragon it's very effective. Masteries, War Master seems fine. I think some people take Giant Slayer, but I think War Master is probably slightly better. Life Drinker is good for some extra healing. Whirlwind of Death so he gets more speed. Spirit Haste, since you're running him with food, so he gets more speed. Turn meter boosting for the celerity, not super necessary, but it's pretty good here since he has poisons. This one for extension of poisons. Everything else is kind of self-explanatory, to be honest. But yeah, refresh accessories so you can get some extra poisons off. Always a nice touch, not really super necessary as well. But yeah, that's going to be the build. He does run best with an AI setup, so that's not ideal obviously with food since you gotta go swapping in and out, but it does speed up the run significantly. So if you guys didn't know that about Tomblord, speeding him up in these runs basically just means putting him in a AI setup. So I'll show you guys that. All right, so for Tomblord's AI, you don't want him to use this on command. So basically you want him to open with this move so that he places decreased attack and decreased defense, and then you want him to not use it again, because every time he does this he reduces the turn meter on the waves, which then kind of prevents them from taking poison damage, which is the way that he clears the waves quickly. So if you turn this off after he uses it once, then the enemies will be taking their turns normally, and then they will take damage from the poisons. If you don't turn this off, he'll constantly use this when this is up, and then he'll reduce turn meters, and then he'll actually extend the run by quite a bit. I would say up to 50% extra time, so keep that in mind. Okay guys, so level 23 here, we're running against positive affinity. Like I said, you could run 24 if you had much stronger stats, but we will run here against positive affinity and show you guys what he's all about. So you see here his death burst going off. We're laying the poisons. So these food wasting our valuable turns here. Tomblord's going to do his thing. Everybody's going to take turns, take damage. Resistance is important because you don't want to get debuffed when you're doing solo. Obviously 3% will exist, but if you have good enough stats, you can overcome even the 3%. So you see here the poison's doing lots of work. Normal is definitely no issue for this level of stats. If you can pick up a 1-star brimstone on him, that goes a long way. The 1-star blessing gives him a lot of extra HP, which is really, really nice. You see here, look at that. Look at all those poisons. The poisons will kill the waves off. We definitely don't want to use this A3 anymore to reduce turn meter. We want them to take the poisons and die right away. There we go. Everybody's dying quickly. See how slow? Yeah, the decreased speed. Slowing them down so they don't take the damage from the poisons, which is kind of annoying. So on normal Ice Golem, the poisons are still very effective. So we'll see the big guy here start dropping pretty soon here. And we don't fear getting the retaliation hit because the poisons won't trigger it. There you go. Yep, lots of poisons going off. We definitely don't want the decreased speed on him. Yeah, guess we just triggered it. But yeah, the decreased speed slows him down from taking the poisons a little bit, so it's a little bit annoying. But we did turn off the A3 here, so the add-ons will take the damage quicker. Looks like it's going to be like a 2.5 minute run here, which is about right. There you go. Now we're on auto. It starts focusing down the boss once he gets a little bit lower. Retaliation hit. So we outstat the boss luckily, so his retaliation hit doesn't hit us that hard. But you can see here with those stats, you can clear this pretty comfortably on 23 with 4 food. So definitely useful for you guys if you guys are still progressing. Alright guys, so off to Dragon. So again, Dragon normal 25. This Tomblord in particular can deal with normal relatively easily and consistently, and that's kind of what you want when you are farming food and all that stuff. You definitely want to tackle the positive affinity stage 25, which I feel is not ideal because honestly, there's no reason to farm stage 25 unless you're doing like CVC. Because stage 24 will give you more quality gear, such as like 6-star epic gear. So unless you have fully outgrown 6-star epic gear, I would still do stage 24. You'll probably get more silver from having slightly higher quality gear, and you'll probably end up keeping more of the gear because 6-star epic gear can still be pretty good. Stage 25 will be slightly worse in tournament points as well. So there's not too much benefit in doing 25. But for this, we have to do because of the affinity issue. So let's jump into it. Let's set up the AI. Again, AI here. All right, so off we go. Same presets. We just shut down the A3 after you use it once. Let the poisons do its thing. This is going to work really, really well on normal dragon, and we'll take a look at hard dragon afterwards. A lot of people write off Tomblord for hard dragon, but he actually is still very solid. It just depends on how well your gear is progressed. So we'll see him do some work here on Dragon 25 normal first. But trust me, guys, turn off his A3. It's going to save you guys like a good minute. You guys could even cut down his speed, because his speed means he's taking more turns, which means he's, you know, he has more turns to recover, but it also means that he's taking turns that is kind of wasting time, right? Because you want the enemies to take turns so that they can get poisons off. So you don't want him taking too many turns. In this particular build, he might actually be too fast. So I kind of like him a little bit slower, like maybe like 220 speed. So drop him 20 speed. And then if you give him a little bit extra attack, he actually does more damage against the boss. And it's kind of noticeable. It speeds it up quite a bit. So if you can give him more damage, crit damage, or attack without sacrificing the other stats, then, you know, go for it. But yeah, Brimstone here is going to be massive, obviously. And then the poisons here. Almost got him down in 90 seconds. It looks like we got him down in 96 seconds here. Stage 25, 96 seconds worth for food. Pretty solid. So still solid. Let's check him out in the hard dragon. So we'll check him out there in the hard dragon. Personally, I think his best spot is going to be stage 4. I tried him in stage 6. It's not super ideal. Stage 4 looks pretty comfortable. So I think we're going to give him a try here. It's going to be same situation, same AI setup. Of course, we're going to tackle the positive affinity levels. So keep in mind, guys, that the stat requirement is a little bit higher for hard difficulties. So that's why I do have him a little bit overstated for resistance and accuracy, just because he is an option to farm hard difficulty with those stats. But if you're strictly going to use him in normal dungeons, he doesn't need 400 resistance and 300 accuracy. He needs about 320 resistance and 220 accuracy. So keep in mind, like, I have a little bit in bonuses from Great Hall. I can show you guys the final stats again. But yeah, so basically you need a little bit more stats for hard difficulty. So it really depends on how well your gear is progressed. All right, looks like we're doing okay. The dragon hits super hard on hard mode, so keep that in mind too. All right, here we go. Minute 13 to the boss, not too terrible. Decreased attack here is very good. Dropping the poisons off. Brimstone, very massive as well. And of course, refresh accessories here, if you can land it, is very good for the extra poisons. There we go, guys. Actually, not too bad. Very comfortable against the boss here. A minute 42 against hard stage 4. And it's basically the same build, just with a bit more accuracy and resistance. So, looking pretty good. I mean, Tomblord, a lot of people are written off completely for hard mode, but he still works pretty good. And if you have no other option, he's actually very solid. Like I said, put him in regen set. He doesn't need immortal as well. Like I said, the resistance and accuracy, you can cut it off by about 80 if you're doing normal only, but you definitely want to be at least these levels for hard mode. So at least 400, at least 300 accuracy for hard mode, at least, I'd say. I'd probably push for 430 and 330. And then if you're doing normal, you're looking at 320 and 220. And then speed looks about right for speed for hard mode, but normal mode, you can cut the speed off by maybe 10%. So Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the showcase for Tomblord. He was a GOAT for me. When I first got him, he was like one of the first solo food farmers for me for some of the, obviously Ice Golem and Dragon. But when hard mode was introduced, he kind of fell off a little bit. But hopefully I showed you guys that he can still do at least hard 4 Dragon comfortably. So he's not totally obsolete yet. So if he's your best option, definitely check him out. Definitely try him out there. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you guys still use Tomblord or if you guys have any other cool applications for him. Thanks for your time, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.